Yuki had served Captain Daniel Rivera on 14 flights, and she still had no idea he was in love with her. The crew briefing room smelled like burnt coffee and possibility. 6 in the morning, too early for most people, perfect for Yuki Tanaka. Before we begin, let us know in the comments what city you're watching from. And at the end, don't forget to rate this story from 0 to 10. Enjoy the story. She was reviewing the manifest when her brother walked in carrying 2 cups. Marcus set one down in front of her. Flight 14, by the way. Good morning to you too, she said. Flight 14, he repeated. She looked up. What are you talking about? Marcus sat down across from her, grinned. The kind of grin that meant he knew something she didn't. Captain Rivera, he said, this is the 14th time he's specifically requested you for his crew. He's particular about service standards. Sure, that's definitely what this is. It is. Yuki, girl, 14 times. She went back to the manifest. He probably requests the same crew every time. Consistency matters. He only requests you, not me. Not anyone else, just you. That's not true. Marcus pulled out his phone, showed her the crew assignments from the last 6 months. Every single one had Yuki's name and a note. Requested by Captain Rivera. She stared at the screen. That's just professional preference. Professional preference, Marcus laughed. You're killing me. What else would it be? Have you met yourself? Have you seen the way he looks at you? He doesn't look at me any particular way. He turns red every time you hand him coffee. He does not. He absolutely does. Tomato red, fire engine red. I've documented it. You've documented it. Someone has to keep track of this tragedy. The door to the briefing room opened. Captain Daniel Rivera stepped through. Dark hair, sharp uniform, confidence that came from flying jumbo jets through storms. He saw Yuki, froze for half a second, then walked toward the coffee station. Marcus leaned back in his chair, smiled, waited. Daniel poured coffee into a cup, turned around. Made the mistake of making eye contact with Yuki. His face turned pink. She stood up, walked over with the crew clipboard. Professional. Calm. This was her job. Morning, Captain, she said. Crew's all present. Weather looks clear for departure. Good. Yes, good. She handed him the clipboard. Their fingers brushed. He turned from pink to red. She pulled her hand back. Everything okay? Fine. Everything's fine. Coffee's good. I mean, the weather's good, clear, for flying. You already said that. Did I? You did. He looked down at the clipboard, then back at her, then at the clipboard again. Thank you, he said, for the clipboard, and the weather report, which I already knew because I checked, before I got here. You're welcome. He nodded, walked away, then stopped, turned back. Your coffee, he said. What about it? How do you take it, your coffee? I meant to ask, for professional reasons. Marcus was watching from across the room, clearly trying not to laugh. Oat milk latte, Yuki said, extra shot, no foam. Daniel nodded very seriously, like she'd just given him critical flight information. Oat milk, extra shot, no foam. Got it? Then he walked out of the briefing room. The second the door closed, Marcus burst out laughing. He does not turn red, Yuki said. His face, his entire face. That man could guide planes by the glow of his cheeks. Stop. Oat milk latte, extra shot, no foam. For professional reasons. He was being polite. He was being in love. There's a difference. She sat back down, picked up her coffee, refused to smile. Marcus pulled out his phone, started typing. What are you doing? She asked. Updating the historical record. You're insane. I'm documenting. Flight 14, still oblivious, still painful to watch. She threw a napkin at him. 30 minutes later, they were boarding passengers. First class filled up quickly. Business travelers, a few families. And then, dragging a pink roller bag and wearing a very serious expression, came Emma Rodriguez, 7 years old, sitting in 3C, same seat she always chose. "Hi there," Yuki said. "Flying alone today?" Emma looked up. "I fly this route every month, divorced parents, different cities. This is my commute." "Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's fine. I get frequent flyer miles." Emma settled into her seat, pulled out a Hello Kitty notebook, started writing. Yuki leaned down. "Homework?" "Research." "Research on what?" Emma looked at her very seriously. "I'll tell you when I'm done." Then she went back to writing. Yuki smiled, moved on to the next passenger. More people boarded, the cabin filled. That pre-flight energy when everyone's settling in, finding space, arguing about overhead bins. The cockpit door opened. Daniel stepped out for his final pre-flight check. He was scanning the cabin. Professional, making sure everything was in order. Then he saw Yuki near row 5. His expression shifted, softened. Just for a second. She looked up at the same time. Eye contact. 3 seconds, maybe 4. He turned red again. She felt her own cheeks getting warm. From 3C, Emma was watching. Her pencil moved across the page. Daniel cleared his throat, looked away, walked back toward the cockpit. As he passed Yuki, he said very quietly, "Coffee looks good on you." She blinked. "What?" But he was already gone, door closing behind him. Marcus appeared from the galley. "Did he just I don't know what he just did. He complimented your coffee consumption. That's either very smooth or very awkward." "I'm going with awkward." "I'm going with smooth. He's trying," Emma called out from 3C. "Excuse me, Miss Yuki?" Yuki walked over. "Yes, sweetheart." "Does the pilot always turn red like that?" "Like what?" "When he looks at you, his face, it changes color." Marcus from the galley was definitely listening. "I think you're imagining things," Yuki said. "I'm 7. I notice patterns." "What kind of patterns?" Emma held up her notebook. Pages of handwritten notes, dates, flight numbers, observations. "You've been documenting the flights?" Yuki asked. "I fly this route every month," Emma said. Same seats, same crew, mostly same pilots. I pay attention." "That's very thorough. I have 14 data points now." 14? "This is my 14th flight on this route, and every single time when Captain Rivera sees you, he turns red, like a tomato." Yuki glanced toward the cockpit, then back at Emma. "You're very observant," she said carefully. "I know. My mom says it's a gift and a curse." Marcus appeared next to them. "Kid, you are my new favorite person." Emma studied him. "You're the lead flight attendant, Marcus Tanaka. Yuki's older. Brother? How did you—" "I read name tags, and you look alike." "She's good," Marcus said to Yuki. "Too good," Yuki muttered. Emma went back to her notebook. "I give you 6 more flights, 7 tops." "For what?" Yuki asked. Emma looked up, very serious. "For you to figure out your secret." "I don't have a secret." "You do. You just don't know it yet." Marcus was grinning. Yuki wanted to disappear. The pre-flight announcement came on. Daniel's voice, smooth, professional. "Welcome aboard. Flight time. Weather conditions," Emma whispered to Yuki. "He sounds different when he talks to you." "Emma!" "I'm just saying. Pattern recognition. It's science." Takeoff was smooth. The plane climbed. Los Angeles disappeared below them. Yuki moved through the cabin during the climb, making sure everyone was settled, seatbelts fastened, devices away. When they reached cruising altitude, service began. First class got priority. Marcus worked one side of the aisle. Yuki worked the other. She was good at this part. reading passengers, knowing what they needed before they asked. The woman in 5B wanted water before she knew she was thirsty. Yuki brought it. The man in 1A was working on his laptop, but his coffee was cold. Fresh cup appeared before he could ask. This was her skill. Noticing, caring, making people feel seen. 6 hours into the 12-hour flight to Tokyo, she was restocking the galley when Daniel appeared. He was holding a cup. "Thought you might need this," he said. She turned around, saw the cup. "What is that?" "Coffee, oat milk, extra shot, no foam." She stared at him. "You remembered? You mentioned it. Once. 3 weeks ago. I said it once, 3 weeks ago. I remember things." He held out the cup. She took it. Their fingers brushed again. She murmured softly, not meaning to say it out loud. "Professional. Calm. Do not stare at his hands. You're staring at his hands. Stop." "I heard that," he said. She looked up, mortified. "Of course you did. You talk to yourself. It's a habit. I think it's charming." There was a beat. Neither of them moved. From the galley entrance, Marcus appeared. "I heard all of that." Yuki jumped, nearly spilled the coffee. "How long have you been standing there?" "Long enough. Also, Captain, thank you for bringing my sister coffee. Very professional of you." Daniel's face was red again. "It's just crew courtesy." "Sure, absolutely. You bring coffee to all your flight attendants." Sometimes when they look busy." "And you remember all their coffee orders from 3 weeks ago?" Daniel opened his mouth, closed it. "I should get back to the cockpit flying. That's where I should be." He walked away quickly. Marcus turned to Yuki, handed her a napkin. "For the coffee you're about to spill because you're smiling so hard." "I'm not smiling." "You're literally smiling right now." She was. She couldn't help it. "He brought you coffee," Marcus said. "Oat milk, extra shot, no foam, from a conversation 3 weeks ago. Wake up." Maybe he just has a good memory. Maybe he's been thinking about you for 3 weeks. She held the cup. It was still warm, perfect temperature. From 3C, Emma was watching. She wrote something in her notebook, then gave Yuki a very knowing look, a 7-year-old, judging her. This was her life now. The rest of the flight passed in a blur: service, cleanup, passengers sleeping or watching movies. Every time Yuki walked past the cockpit, she thought about the coffee, about the way he'd remembered, about the way his face turned red every time he saw her. Maybe Marcus was right. Maybe Emma was right. Maybe she'd been missing something very obvious for 14 flights. The landing announcement came on, Daniel's voice through the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're beginning our descent into Tokyo. Local time is 8:30 a.m. Weather is clear. Temperature is comfortable. Thank you for flying with us today." Professional, smooth, perfect. But when he came out for the post-landing check, walking through the cabin and saw Yuki helping a passenger with their bag, he smiled. Just for her. She smiled back. From 3C, Emma was writing in her notebook. She held it up so Yuki could see. Flight 14, coffee delivery. Subject turned pink, captain fled. Classic. Yuki couldn't argue with the data. At the gate, passengers deplaned. Yuki stood by the door, thanking everyone. Professional smile. Emma was one of the last to leave. 6 more flights, she said. Maybe 5. What happens in 5 flights? Emma smiled. You'll figure out your secret. Then she walked off, rolling her pink bag behind her. Daniel appeared from the cockpit, saw Yuki, walked over. Good flight, he said. It was. I already put in the request for next week, same crew, if that's okay. You requested me again? I request you every time. There it was, out loud. 14 times wasn't an accident. Why? She asked. He looked at her for a long moment, like he was trying to decide how much to say. "Because you're the best flight attendant on this airline," he said finally. "And because working with you makes every flight better." It wasn't a declaration of love, but it was something. She smiled. "I'll see you next week then." "Next week." He walked away, then stopped, turned back. "Yuki?" "Yes?" "Thank you for the coffee conversation 3 weeks ago. I've been thinking about it." Then he left. Really left this time. Marcus appeared immediately. "He's been thinking about it," he said. "For 3 weeks. Just normal professional thoughts. About your coffee order." "Stop. I will never stop. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me." She picked up her crew bag, started walking toward the crew exit. Marcus followed. "Flight 15 is in 3 days. You're on it. He already requested you." "Of course he did. What are you going to do?" She thought about the coffee, about his face turning red, about the way he said her name. "I don't know," she said, "but I think I need to pay more attention." Marcus grinned. Finally, character growth. In the terminal, walking toward the crew hotel shuttle, Yuki checked her phone. There was a message from scheduling, official, professional. "Captain Rivera has requested you for flights 15, 16, and 17. Please confirm availability." 3 more flights, 3 more chances to figure out what was happening. She typed back, "Confirmed." Her phone buzzed again immediately. Marcus. "I saw the scheduling notice, 3 flights, the man is committed." She typed back, "It's just professional consistency." Marcus. "Keep telling yourself that. See you in 3 days. Bring your A game and maybe some confidence." She smiled, put her phone away. Maybe Emma was right. Maybe she had 6 flights, maybe 5. Maybe she'd been missing something obvious for 14 flights. She looked down at her hand, the one that had touched his when he gave her the coffee. Still warm. Flight 14 was over. Flight 15 was in 3 days, and for the first time in 6 months, Yuki Tanaka was paying attention. 3 days later, Yuki stood in the crew briefing room holding 2 cups of coffee. Marcus walked in, saw the cups, stopped. "What's the second one?" he asked. "I thought I'd bring Captain Rivera coffee, since he always brings me coffee. It's polite." Marcus's face lit up. "You're bringing him coffee? Keep your voice down. Yuki, girl, this is reciprocation, also known as flirting. It's just being courteous. It's courteous flirting, which is still flirting." The door opened. 2 other flight attendants walked in, saw the coffee cups, looked at Yuki. "Is that for Rivera?" one of them asked. "Maybe." "Oh my God, it's happening." "What's happening?" "You're finally making a move." Yuki felt her face getting hot. "I'm not making a move. I'm returning a gesture." Marcus pulled out his phone. "I'm documenting this. Flight 15, historic coffee reciprocation." "You're all insane." "We're all right. There's a difference." 20 minutes later, she was standing outside the cockpit door, holding the cup, trying to convince herself this was normal. She knocked. The door opened. Daniel stood there, saw her, saw the cup. His eyes went wide. "Yuki, hi, is everything okay?" "Everything's fine. I brought you this." She held out the cup. He stared at it like she just handed him a winning lottery ticket. "You brought me coffee?" "Americano, 2 shots, no sugar. That's yours, right?" Yes, that's mine. You remembered? You've been bringing me coffee for months. Fair's fair." He took the cup. His fingers brushed hers. The touch lasted half a second too long. "Thank you," he said. Thank you." He was smiling. Really smiling, not the professional smile, the real one. "You're welcome, Captain. Daniel, you can call me Daniel." "Daniel." His smile got wider. From inside the cockpit, his co-pilot called out, Danny, you gonna stand there all day or are we flying this plane? Daniel turned red. Right, flying, that's what we're doing today. Generally the plan, Yuki said. Yes, good plan, thank you for the coffee and the conversation, both very good. He stepped back into the cockpit, closed the door. Yuki stood there for a moment, then walked back to the galley. Marcus was waiting, arms crossed, grinning. Don't, she said, don't what? Don't say anything. He looked like you handed him the moon. He looked happy. He looked like a man who just got a sign that his feelings are reciprocated. It's just coffee. It's never just coffee. From the cockpit they heard laughter. The co-pilot's voice carried through the door. She brought you coffee. You know what that means, right? Daniel's voice quieter. It means she's polite. It means she likes you, you idiot. More laughter. Yuki turned bright red. Marcus was recording on his phone. Stop that, she said. Never. This is historic. Boarding started 30 minutes later. Passengers filed in, business travelers, families, a couple on their honeymoon, and Emma Rodriguez, pink roller bag. Hello Kitty notebook. Same seat. 3C. She settled in, looked at Yuki. You brought him coffee. Good move. Yuki blinked. How do you know that? I have sources. You have sources? The gate agent is my friend. She sees everything. Emma opened her notebook, started writing. What are you writing? Yuki asked. Flight 15. Reciprocation initiated. Progress noted. You're documenting our coffee exchanges? I'm documenting everything. Someone has to keep accurate records. You're 7. I read at an 8th grade level. I'm qualified. Marcus appeared behind Yuki. Kid, you're my hero. Emma studied him. You're enjoying this too much. I've been watching them dance around each other for months. I've earned this. Fair point. The flight took off smoothly, climbed, leveled out at cruising altitude. Yuki moved through the cabin, service, checking on passengers, making sure everyone was comfortable. The woman in 2B was cold. Yuki brought an extra blanket before she could ask. The man in 4A was traveling with his elderly mother. She had trouble with the entertainment system. Yuki sat with her, showed her how to find the movie she wanted. Stayed until she was settled. This was what she was good at, seeing what people needed, providing comfort. From 3C, Emma was watching, taking notes. 6 hours into the flight, Yuki was in the galley when Daniel appeared, holding a cup. Thought you might need this, he said. Oat milk latte, extra shot, no foam. She took it, smiled. We both brought each other coffee. Apparently, we're very courteous people. The most courteous. It's a competitive industry. They stood there, both holding coffee cups, both smiling. From the cabin, Marcus's voice. I'm taking a photo for historical purposes. Daniel cleared his throat. I should probably get back to the cockpit. Probably. But this was nice, the coffee, the conversation, both were nice. They were. He walked away, then stopped, turned back. Yuki? Yes? Thank you for paying attention to my coffee order. It means more than you know. Then he was gone. She stood in the galley, holding the cup, smiling like an idiot. Emma appeared beside her. You're both very obvious, Emma said. Go back to your seat, sweetheart. I'm just saying, pattern recognition. You like each other, everyone can see it. Emma, I'm adjusting my timeline. 5 flights, maybe 4. She walked back to 3C. Marcus leaned against the galley entrance. The kid's not wrong. Not you, too. Girl, you're holding his coffee and smiling at the ceiling. You're gone. I'm not gone. You're so gone you've left the atmosphere. She took a sip of the coffee. Perfect temperature, perfect everything. Maybe she was a little gone. The flight landed in San Francisco. Passengers deplaned. Yuki stood by the door, thanking everyone, Emma was one of the last passengers. 5 flights, she said. Mark my words. Then she was gone. Daniel appeared from the cockpit. Good flight. It was. I already put in the request for next week, same crew. I saw. You requested me for 3 flights. Is that too much? I can cancel one if It's not too much, he smiled, relieved. Good. That's good. I'll see you next week then. See you next week. 12 hours later, Yuki was in the crew lounge at LAX. Layover between flights. She was exhausted. Caffeine only did so much. Marcus was across from her, playing on his phone. The door opened. A woman walked in, polished, perfect, every hair in place. Vanessa Park. She worked first class on the Pacific routes. Yuki knew. Yuki, her by reputation. Excellent service. By the book. A little competitive. Yuki, right? Vanessa said. That's me. I've been meaning to talk to you. She sat down, smiled, friendly but with an edge. I've been hearing a lot about you lately. Oh? You're on Rivera's regular rotation, that's impressive. He's very particular about his crew. I just do my job. Of course, but still, 14 times is significant. Marcus looked up from his phone, alert. 15 now, Vanessa continued. I've been trying to get on his rotation for months. You must be doing something right. I treat passengers well, that's it. I'm sure that's part of it, though I did notice you sat with a passenger during service last week. That's technically against protocol. She was nervous. First flight in years. I understand, but Captain Rivera is very strict about following procedures. Marcus set down his phone. Actually, Rivera specifically commented that Yuki's attention to passenger comfort is exactly what he values. Vanessa's smile tightened. Did he? He did. To the entire crew last month. Well, that's good feedback to have. She stood up. Anyway, I just wanted to introduce myself, since we'll probably be seeing more of each other. I finally got assigned to one of Rivera's flights next week. After she left, Marcus turned to Yuki. She's jealous, he said. Of what? Of the fact that the most sought-after captain in the fleet can't stop looking at you. You're exaggerating. I'm really not. Ask anyone, ask scheduling, ask the gate agents. Everyone knows Rivera requests you. Yuki's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Hi, this is Daniel. Got your number from the crew contact list. Hope that's okay. Just wanted to say thank you again for the coffee. Made my morning. She stared at the phone. Marcus leaned over, saw the text. Oh my God. Stop. He texted you. The captain texted you. It's just a professional courtesy. Yuki, the man got your number from the crew list. He's making moves. She didn't know what to text back. Marcus grabbed her phone, started typing. What are you doing? She asked. Helping. You're terrible at this. He handed back the phone. The message read, Anytime. See you next week for flights 16, 17, and 18. Looking forward to it. That's too much, Yuki said. It's perfect. Send it. She hesitated. Then hit send. 3 dots appeared immediately. He was typing. Me too. Have a good few days off. Marcus was grinning. He said me too. He's looking forward to it. This is happening. Nothing is happening. Everything is happening. 4 days later, Flight 16, Tokyo to Los Angeles. The crew briefing was normal. Route, weather, special passenger needs. Then Daniel walked in, saw Yuki, smiled. That private smile that was just for her. She smiled back. Marcus elbowed her. She ignored him. The flight took off. Service began. Everything was smooth until row 2A. Mr. Harrison, business class, expensive suit, entitled expression. He snapped his fingers at Yuki. Actually snapped them. You. I need service. She walked over. Professional smile in place. What can I help you with? This blanket is scratchy, the wine selection is limited, and my meal is taking too long. I apologize, let me get you a different blanket and check on your meal. You should have done that already. I'll take care of it right now. She brought him a softer blanket. His meal arrived 2 minutes later, perfectly on schedule. He complained about the temperature of the food. She offered to have it reheated. He complained that reheated food wouldn't be fresh. She offered alternatives from the menu. He said they all sounded unappealing. Marcus watched from the galley. Want me to handle him? I've got it. She returned to 2A with a different meal option. Fresh. Exactly what he'd originally ordered, just prepared differently. This wasn't what I asked for, Harrison said. Sir, this is exactly what you ordered, prepared fresh. Don't tell me what I ordered. He was loud. Other passengers were starting to notice. Yuki kept her smile in place, professional, calm. I apologize if there was any confusion. How can I make this right? You could start by knowing how to do your job. From the cockpit camera system, Daniel was watching. His co-pilot noticed his grip on the armrest. That guy's a jerk, Rodriguez said. She's handling it. You're about to break that armrest. Daniel watched Harrison snap at Yuki again, saw her professional smile strain. He unbuckled his seatbelt, stood up. Where are you going? Rodriguez asked. To handle something. Danny, she's got this. I know she does, but she shouldn't have to. He walked out of the cockpit, mid-flight, unusual for a captain to leave during cruise. He walked directly to 2A. Mr. Harrison, he said, voice calm but carrying authority. I'm Captain Rivera. Is there a problem? Harrison looked up. The service has been subpar. I disagree. Ms. Tanaka is one of our most experienced flight attendants. She's been nothing but professional and accommodating. I'm a platinum member. I expect better treatment. You're receiving excellent treatment. If you have concerns, you can address them to me, not to my crew. I was just a noted. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to return to the cockpit. Enjoy the rest of your flight. He walked away, didn't wait for a response. Yuki stood there, stunned. Marcus appeared beside her. Did the captain just defend you? I think so. Girl, that man is gone. 20 minutes later, Yuki was restocking in the galley when Daniel appeared. You okay? He asked. I'm fine. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did. I can handle difficult passengers. I know you can. You handle everything, but you shouldn't have to deal with someone who treats you like that. She looked at him. Really? Looked. His expression was serious, protective. Thank you, she said quietly. You're welcome. He paused. You're really good at this, you know, at making people feel seen, comfortable. It's not in the manual, it's just who you are. Captain. Daniel. Daniel. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. He started to walk away, then stopped, reached into his pocket, pulled out a piece of paper. He set it on the counter next to her, a post-it note. For when you have 30 seconds. Then he went back to the cockpit. She picked up the note. Underneath it, a cup of coffee, still warm, perfect temperature. He'd brought it while she was dealing with Harrison. Marcus appeared, saw the coffee and note. If you don't marry this man, I will. Stop. I'm serious, that's the most romantic thing I've ever seen. From 3C, Emma was watching. She held up her notebook, showed Yuki the page. Flight 16, captain defends her, brings her coffee, leaves. Note, they're both idiots, but they're cute idiots. Yuki couldn't argue with that assessment. The flight landed in Los Angeles. Evening. The cabin lights were dim during deplaning. Yuki stood by the door, thanking passengers. Most of them ignored her. A few smiled. Mr. Harrison walked past without making eye contact. Emma stopped. You should tell him. Tell who what? Tell Captain Rivera you like him before someone else does. Emma, I'm just saying you're both obvious, but you're both waiting, and waiting is how you lose. Then she walked off. Daniel appeared from the cockpit, saw Yuki, walked over. Good flight, he said, except for 2A. Except for him, but you handled it perfectly. With your help. You didn't need my help, but I wanted to give it anyway. They stood there, close. The cabin was empty now, just them. Daniel, she said, why do you keep requesting me? He looked at her for a long moment, like he was deciding how honest to be. Because you make every flight better, he said finally. Because I can't imagine working with anyone else. Because when I'm flying, knowing you're in the cabin makes everything easier. It still wasn't a confession, but it was close. I like flying with you too, she said. His smile was soft, genuine. Yeah? Yeah. Good, that's really good. They walked out together, through the jetway into the terminal. Marcus was waiting by the gate, saw them together, grinned. That night back at the apartment she shared with Marcus, Yuki couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the coffee, the note, the way he'd defended her. The way he'd said, you make every flight better. Her phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. Can't sleep either? Come to my room, we need to talk. She walked down the hall, knocked. He opened the door, had wine, 2 glasses. Sit, he said. She sat, he poured wine, handed her a glass, sat across from her. We need to talk about the pilot, he said. There's nothing to talk about. Girl, don't. Don't what? Don't pretend you don't know what's happening. 14 flights, 18 now, coffee every time. He remembered your order from one conversation. He left the cockpit to defend you. He brought you coffee with a note. He pulled out his phone, showed her his documentation, photos, texts, timeline. I've been tracking this for months, he said. And here's what I know. He's in love with you. Everyone can see it. Everyone except you. That's not all. He requests you every single flight. Only you. Not me. Not anyone else. Just you. Maybe he just likes consistency. Have you seen him around you? The man can barely form sentences. He turns red when you hand him coffee. He brought you an oat milk latte based on a conversation 3 weeks ago. He texted you. He defended you in front of passengers. She looked at the photos, all the evidence Marcus had collected. It was overwhelming. Even if you're right, she said quietly. Even if he does like me. Have you seen him? And his family? So I looked him up. The Rivera family, they own hotels, real estate, half of downtown Los Angeles. And I'm a flight attendant who shares an apartment with her brother because I'm helping my sister pay for college. Marcus set down his glass, looked at her seriously. You're a woman with a degree in hospitality management who speaks 4 languages and makes everyone around her feel like they matter. You notice what people need before they know they need it. You turned an elderly woman's first flight in years into something beautiful. You dealt with an entitled asshole with grace. You're brilliant. You're kind. You're exactly what that man needs. Marcus, you're the league, Yuki. He's trying to join. She felt tears prick her eyes. What if I've been missing all the signs? She asked. Then you start paying attention now. What if I mess this up? What if you don't? They sat there, quiet, drinking wine. I've liked him since Flight 7, she admitted. That day he walked into a door because I smiled at him. He was so embarrassed. And it was the first time I saw him as a person, not Captain Rivera, just Daniel. Marcus smiled. Flight 7, that's 9 flights ago. I know. You've been into this man for 9 flights and you've been hiding it. I didn't think he was interested. Girl, he's been interested since Flight 1. Probably before that. Her phone buzzed. Text from Daniel. Hope you got home safe. See you in 2 days for Flight 17. Sleep well. Marcus saw it. He's checking that you got home safe. This man is courting you. She smiled. Texted back, just got home. See you in 2 days? 3 dots appeared, then. Good. Looking forward to it. More than you know. Marcus read it over her shoulder. More than you know. He's telling you without telling you. Maybe? Not maybe. Definitely. Now go to sleep. You have a flight in 2 days. And I have a feeling Flight 17 is going to be interesting. She stood up, hugged her brother. Thank you. For what? For paying attention when I wasn't. That's what big brothers are for. She went back to her room, lay in bed, looked at the text from Daniel. Looking forward to it. More than you know. She was looking forward to it too. More than she'd let herself admit for 14 flights. Flight 17 was in 2 days, and for the first time, Yuki Tanaka was ready to stop missing signals. Flight 17, Tokyo to San Francisco, 12 hours over the Pacific. Yuki arrived at the crew briefing early, coffee in hand, ready. Marcus walked in, saw her expression, smiled. Look at you, he said. Actually awake, actually prepared, character growth. I'm always prepared. You're wearing the good uniform, you curled your hair, you're wearing lipstick. It's just professional presentation. It's courting presentation, there's a difference. She ignored him, reviewed the manifest, checked supplies, normal pre-flight routine. The door opened. Daniel walked in, saw her, stopped, smiled. That smile that was just for her. Morning, he said. Morning, Captain. Daniel. He walked to the coffee station, poured his usual. Americano, 2 shots, no sugar. She'd brought an extra cup, set it next to him. He looked down, looked at her. His entire face lit up. You brought me coffee again. Consistency matters. It really does. Their fingers touched when he picked up the cup. Neither of them pulled away immediately. From across the room, Marcus was recording on his phone. Daniel cleared his throat. Thank you. For this, for everything. It's just coffee. It's never just coffee. He walked toward the cockpit, then turned back. Yuki? Yes? I'm glad you're here. On this flight. On all the flights. Then he was gone. Marcus appeared beside her. Girl, he's telling you. He's being professional. He said he's glad you're on all the flights. That's not professional, that's personal. Boarding began 20 minutes later. Passengers filed in, the usual mix. Business travelers, families, a couple arguing quietly about luggage space, and Emma Rodriguez, pink roller bag, Hello Kitty notebook, same seat, 3C. She settled in, looked at Yuki, held up her notebook. Flight 17, she said. This might be the one. The one what? The one where you both stop being cowards. Emma, I have data. 17 flights of observation. The pattern is clear. Resolution is imminent. Marcus laughed. Kid, you're speaking my language. Emma studied him. You've been documenting too? For months. We should compare notes. Absolutely we should. They started talking, showing each other their phones and notebooks, comparing observations. Yuki walked away. This was her life now, being studied by a 7-year-old and her own brother. The flight took off, climbed, leveled out, service began. Yuki moved through the cabin, professional, attentive, but aware that Daniel was in the cockpit, aware that every time she passed the door she thought about him. In the galley, restocking napkins, she heard voices. Vanessa's voice, talking to another flight attendant. I'm just saying it seems inappropriate, Vanessa said. The way she's always around Rivera. People are talking. People are always talking. But there are rules about workplace relationships and she's clearly pursuing him. The other flight attendant laughed. Vanessa, everyone knows he's been requesting her. Not the other way around. Still, it looks unprofessional. Yuki stood in the galley, frozen. That word, unprofessional. She'd spent years building her reputation, being the best at her job. And now people were talking. Marcus found her 10 minutes later. She was organizing supplies that didn't need organizing. "You okay?" he asked. "Fine." "You're alphabetizing napkins. You're not fine." She told him about Vanessa's comment, about the word unprofessional. Marcus's expression darkened. "That's garbage. Everyone on this airline knows Rivera requests you because you're brilliant at your job." "But what if people think I'm using? What if they think I'm trying to—" "Who cares what they think? You know the truth. I know the truth. Rivera knows the truth. But if it affects my reputation, then let them talk. You can't control what people say. You can only control what you do, and what you do is be excellent. Every single flight." She nodded. But the doubt had planted itself. During the mid-flight service, she was more careful, more professional. Put distance between herself and Daniel when he did his cabin check. He noticed. She could tell by the way his expression shifted. Confused, concerned. But she couldn't explain. Not in front of the passengers. Not with people watching. 6 hours into the flight, the cabin was quiet. Most passengers sleeping or watching movies. Emma was wide awake, writing in her notebook. Occasionally looking up at Yuki, then at the cockpit door, then back to her notebook. Finally, she stood up, walked to the galley. "You're avoiding him," she said. "I'm working." "You're avoiding him. I've documented 17 flights. I know what normal looks like. This isn't normal." "Emma, I appreciate your concern, but someone said something about you and Captain Rivera. And now you're scared." How was this child so perceptive? "It's complicated," Yuki said. "It's not. You like him, he likes you. Other people's opinions don't matter." "Easy for you to say. You're 7. I'm 7 and I understand relationships better than both of you. That's sad." From 3C, Emma had left her notebook. Yuki could see pages of detailed notes, dates, flight numbers, observations. 17 flights of documentation. Emma went back to her seat, sat down, stared at her notebook, then at Yuki, then at the cockpit. She opened the notebook, flipped through pages, reading her own notes, then she closed it, made a decision. She unbuckled her seatbelt, stood up. Marcus saw her. "Emma, you okay, kiddo?" "I'm fine, I'm fixing something." She walked to the middle of the cabin, stood in the aisle, cleared her throat, loudly. A few passengers looked up. She cleared her throat again. Louder. More passengers looked. Yuki was in the galley, saw Emma standing in the aisle. "Emma, sweetie, you need to sit." "Excuse me," Emma said very loudly. "Can I have everyone's attention?" The entire cabin looked at her. Yuki started walking toward her. "Emma, The pilot likes the flight attendant." The cabin went completely silent. Emma pointed at Yuki. "Her, Miss Yuki, the really nice one who helped all of you." Then pointed at the cockpit. "And Captain Rivera, the pilot." Yuki felt all the blood drain from her face. Emma continued. "I've been documenting this for 17 flights. 17. He brings her coffee every single flight. She turns pink. He turns red. They're both completely obvious and both completely idiots." A few passengers started laughing. Emma held up her Hello Kitty notebook. "I have data, dates, times, observations, 17 flights of watching them dance around each other." "Emma," Yuki said quietly, "please, no. This has gone on long enough. Everyone can see it. Everyone except you two. Someone needs to make them talk." The passenger in 4B started clapping. Then the woman in 2A joined. Then more people. The entire cabin was applauding. Yuki stood there, frozen, face burning. Marcus was in the galley, tears streaming down his face from laughing so hard. From the cockpit, Daniel's voice came over the intercom. This is Captain Rivera. Long pause. The entire cabin was silent, waiting. Passenger in 3C she's not wrong. The cabin erupted, applause, laughter, a few cheers. Emma sat down, very satisfied, buckled her seatbelt. My work here is done, she said. Yuki couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The entire airplane knew. Everyone. Daniel's voice came back over the intercom. And, Ms. Tanaka, can you come to the cockpit, please? More cheering from the cabin. Marcus appeared beside her, pushed her gently toward the front. Go, before I die from suspense. She walked to the cockpit door, knocked. It opened. Daniel stood there, face red, eyes wide. I'm so sorry, he said. I didn't know she was going to... Neither did I. Can you come in just for a minute? She stepped into the cockpit. The co-pilot, Rodriguez, immediately stood up. I need to check something in the cabin, Rodriguez said. Be back in 10 minutes or 20, or however long this takes. He left, closed the door. They were alone, in the cockpit, flying over the Pacific. I'm sorry, Daniel said again. That was not how I wanted to do. You said she wasn't wrong. What? Over the intercom, you said she wasn't wrong. He looked at her, really looked. She's not wrong. Daniela, so. I've been requesting you for 17 flights because I can't imagine flying without you, because seeing you makes everything better. Because I think about you constantly and I'm terrible at hiding it, and apparently a 7-year-old has been documenting my complete inability to be subtle. She started laughing. Couldn't help it. She has 17 flights worth of data. I know, she's thorough. She called us both idiots. She's not wrong about that either. They stood there, in the small cockpit space, the sun setting through the windows. 35,000 feet over the Pacific. I've liked you since Flight 7, Yuki said, when you walked into that door because I smiled at you. Flight 7? That was months ago. I know. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you? Because I'm a coward who can land a plane in a typhoon but can't tell you that you're the best part of my day. She felt tears in her eyes. Happy tears. The coffee, she said. Was it ever just about the coffee? No. It was always about finding reasons to talk to you, to be near you, to see you smile. 17 times, 18 now, and I want more. I want all of them. She stepped closer. Daniela. I'm in love with you, he said. I have been for months, maybe since Flight 1, maybe before. And I know this is complicated because we work together and people will talk, and Emma just announced it to an entire airplane, but I don't care. I love you, and I'm done hiding it. She was crying now. I love you too, he smiled, that real smile, the one that lit up his whole face. Yeah? Can I kiss you? I thought you'd never ask. He cupped her face, kissed her, soft, sweet. 17 flights of waiting in one moment. The sunset through the cockpit windows painted everything gold. When they pulled apart, both of them were crying and laughing. Emma's going to be so smug, Yuki said. Emma earned it. There was a knock on the door. Rodriguez's voice. Are you too decent? Can I come back to work? They stepped apart, both grinning. Rodriguez opened the door, saw their faces. Finally, thank God, I've been watching this torture for months. You too? Daniel asked. Everyone's been watching, the whole airline. There are betting pools. Betting pools? On when you'd finally admit your feelings. I won $200, so thank you. They walked out of the cockpit together, Daniel's hand briefly touching the small of her back. The cabin erupted in applause again. Emma held up her notebook. I told you. Data doesn't lie. Marcus was wiping tears. This is the best day of my life. The rest of the flight passed in a blur. Service, landing prep, passengers deplaning. Emma was one of the last to leave. She walked up to them, very serious, handed them her notebook. You'll want this for the wedding, she said, then walked off. Yuki opened it. Inside, 17 flights of detailed observations, their every interaction documented with dates and times. Flight 1. Eye contact 14 seconds, both nervous. Flight 7, he walked into door, she caused it, chemistry confirmed. Flight 14, coffee delivery begins, he remembers her order, sign of deep attention. Flight 17, intervention required, announcement made, result success. Last page. Adults are slow, but they get there eventually, case study complete. They stood in the empty cabin, reading Emma's notes, laughing and crying. We've been studied by a 7-year-old, Daniel said. She was more observant than we were. She really was. Marcus appeared. Crew hotel, everyone's going. You two coming? Daniel looked at Yuki. Want to get dinner? Actual dinner, not airplane food. I'd love that. They walked through the terminal together, not hiding anymore. His hand found hers. Marcus walked ahead, texting everyone. It happened. They're together. I was right. At the hotel, the crew lounge, word had spread. Everyone knew. The other flight attendants were grinning. The gate agents were celebrating. Even the scheduling manager had sent a message. Finally, we've been rooting for you. Vanessa was there, saw them walk in together. Her expression shifted. Understanding. She walked over. I owe you an apology, she said to Yuki. I was jealous of what you two have. It's obvious now. I'm sorry for what I said. Thank you, Yuki said. Vanessa left, and it was just them. In the hotel bar. They sat at a quiet table, ordered food, talked for hours. He told her about his family, the pressure, the expectations. How he became a pilot to be his own person. She told him about helping her sister through college, about working her way up from economy to first class, about loving her job but being exhausted from always being on. I see you, he said. Not the flight attendant, you, Yuki, the person who makes everyone feel like they matter. I see you too, not Captain Rivera, Daniel, the man who brings me coffee and walks into doors. They laughed, both crying again. I don't want to hide this, he said. I don't care who knows. I don't care what anyone says. Me neither. So we're doing this? Really doing this? Really doing this? He leaned across the table, kissed her again, in the hotel bar, in front of the crew, not hiding. Marcus appeared. I'm taking a photo, for the historical record. Please stop documenting us, Yuki said. Never. This is my life's work now. They walked back to their rooms together. Daniel walked her to her door. I don't want this night to end, he said. Me neither. But we have another flight in 2 days, flight 18. I'll be there. Good, I'll request you. You better. He kissed her goodnight. Sweet. Slow. Perfect. She went into her room, leaned against the door, couldn't stop smiling. Her phone buzzed. Text from Daniel. I'm smiling like an idiot in the hallway. Rodriguez just walked past and laughed at me. I don't care, I love you. She texted back. I love you too. See you in 2 days. Another text. That's too long. I know. Maybe we should get coffee tomorrow before the flight, just us. I'd like that. It's a date, a real one. She fell asleep smiling, the happiest she'd been in years. But in the middle of the night, she woke up. Her mind was racing. 17 flights, Emma's announcement, the entire cabin knowing, everyone at the airline knowing. Daniel had said, I love you in front of his co-pilot. She'd kissed him in the hotel bar in front of the crew. It was real, public, everyone knew. And suddenly that felt overwhelming. What if this didn't work? What if they tried and it fell apart? What if she lost him completely? What if people were right to think it was unprofessional? What if she ruined her career? His career? She sat up, grabbed her phone, stared at the messages from Daniel. I love you. She loved him too. God, she loved him, but she was terrified. She opened her work email, found the scheduling department contact, started typing. Hi, this is Yuki Tanaka. I need to request a route change, just for a week, personal reasons, thank you. She hit send before she could change her mind. Then she turned off her phone, lay back down, and immediately regretted it. But it was done. She needed time to think, to process, to figure out if she was ready for this. 17 flights of waiting, one perfect night, one kiss. And now, she was running. Marcus was going to kill her. Emma was going to be so disappointed, and Daniel was going to think she didn't love him, but she did. That was the problem. She loved him too much to risk losing him. So she needed space. Just a few days to figure out her feelings, to figure out if she was brave enough for this. The last thought before she fell asleep. Emma was right. We're both idiots. But I might be the bigger one. Yuki woke up to 17 missed calls from Marcus and one text from Daniel, sent at 3 in the morning. Scheduling called. You requested a route change. Did I do something wrong? Her heart shattered. She stared at the message, read it 5 times. Did I do something wrong? No, he did everything right. That was the problem. She sat up, grabbed her phone, started typing. You didn't do anything wrong. I just need some time to think. I'm sorry. She hit send, then watched the screen. 3 dots appeared. He was typing. Then they disappeared. No response. She waited 10 minutes, nothing. Marcus burst through her door. Didn't knock. What did you do? He asked. I requested a route change. Why? Because I was scared. Of what? Of everything, of losing him, of messing this up, of people talking, of ruining both our careers. Marcus sat down on her bed, looked at her like she'd lost her mind. You had one perfect night, he said, one kiss, one confession. And then you ran? I panicked. You panicked? Girl, that man told you he loved you in front of his co-pilot, in front of the entire crew. He kissed you in a hotel bar. He made you public. And you panicked? I know it was stupid. It was beyond stupid. It was self-sabotage. She felt tears coming. What if we try and it doesn't work? What if I lose him completely? What if you don't try and you lose him anyway? She hadn't thought of that. Marcus stood up. You need to fix this before it's too late. How? I don't know. But you better figure it out fast, because that man is hurting and you caused it. He left. Closed the door. She looked at her phone again. Daniel's message. Did I do something wrong? She'd broken his heart, after he'd been brave enough to tell her he loved her. She texted back, Can we talk? Please. 5 minutes, 10, 20, no response. 3 days later, Daniel's flight, without Yuki. He sat in the cockpit, going through pre-flight checks, mechanical, professional. Rodriguez watched him. You okay, man? Fine. You've said 5 words since we got here. I'm focused. You're heartbroken. Daniel didn't respond. Checked the fuel levels, the weather report, the flight plan. Rodriguez tried again. Did you text her back? No. Why not? What am I supposed to say? Thanks for running away after I told you I loved you? Maybe ask her why. She said she needed time to think, that's clear enough. Danya, I'm fine, let's just fly the plane. The door knocked. A flight attendant, but not Yuki. Vanessa Park. Good morning, Captain, she said. I'm on your crew today. Daniel nodded. Professional. Distant. Morning. I brought you coffee. Americano. 2 shots. She handed him the cup. He took it. Didn't drink. It just held it. It wasn't the right coffee, it was his coffee, but he wanted hers. Oat milk latte, extra shot, no foam. He wanted her. Thank you, he said. Vanessa lingered. I'm looking forward to working with you today. We'll do our best. She left. Rodriguez looked at Daniel. You didn't even taste that coffee. I know. You're holding it like it's going to explode. It's not the right coffee. It's your coffee. It's not her coffee. Rodriguez sighed. You need to call her. She doesn't want to talk to me. You don't know that. She ran away, Rodriguez. After one perfect night. That's pretty clear communication. The flight took off. Service began. Daniel went through the motions, checked instruments, monitored weather, made announcements. All professional, all correct, all completely empty. Mid-flight, he did a cabin check, force of habit, walked through first class, saw Vanessa working, professional, efficient, by the book. But she wasn't Yuki. She didn't notice what passengers needed before they asked, didn't sit with nervous flyers, didn't make people feel seen. She was good at her job, but she wasn't extraordinary. He walked back to the cockpit. Rodriguez looked at him. You're miserable. I'm fine. You checked your phone 4 times in the last 10 minutes. I'm expecting a message from scheduling. You're expecting a message from her? Daniel didn't argue, because it was true. In the galley, Vanessa was talking to another flight attendant. He seems sad, Vanessa said. Captain Rivera, he's usually more engaged. You didn't hear? Hear what? About him and Yuki Tanaka, they were together, then she requested off his flights. Broke his heart. Vanessa felt something twist in her stomach. Not satisfaction, not victory, guilt. She'd been jealous. She'd made comments. She'd planted doubt. And maybe that's why Yuki ran. She looked toward the cockpit, saw Daniel through the window. His expression was blank, professional. But his eyes were sad. She'd wanted to be requested by him, to be chosen, but not like this. Not because someone else was hurting. The flight landed in Los Angeles. Evening, the cabin lights dim, passengers deplaned. Daniel stood by the cockpit door. Professional goodbye to the crew. Vanessa approached him. Captain, can I talk to you for a moment? Of course. I owe you an apology. I made some comments about Yuki, about workplace relationships, and I think maybe that's part of why she ran. Daniel looked at her. Really looked. What did you say? That it seemed unprofessional, that people were talking. I was jealous of what you two had, and I'm sorry. He nodded slowly. Thank you for telling me. For what it's worth, everyone could see how much you two loved each other. What you had was real, don't give up on it. Then she left. Daniel stood in the empty cabin, processing, unprofessional, people talking. Yuki had, worried about her reputation, about people's opinions. And someone had confirmed those fears. Maybe she didn't run because she didn't love him. Maybe she ran because she was scared. His phone buzzed. Text from Rodriguez. That flight attendant just told me what she told you. Call Yuki, fix this. He stared at his phone, at Yuki's contact, then opened a new message, started typing. I know you're scared, I'm scared too. But I meant what I said, I love you. And I'm not giving up on us. He hit send. 3 dots appeared immediately, then disappeared. No response. He walked through the terminal, empty, exhausted. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Meanwhile, at Yuki's apartment, Marcus found her on the couch, still in pajamas at 4 in the afternoon. This is pathetic, he said. I know. You've been here for 3 days. I know. Have you showered? Yesterday, maybe. He sat down, looked at her. You got his text. I did. And I don't know what to say. How about, I'm sorry I ran away, I love you, let's try again. What if it's too late? What if it's not? She pulled her knees to her chest. I saw him, Marcus, his message. Did I do something wrong? I broke his heart. Then fix it. How? By being brave, by showing up, by fighting for what you want. I don't know if I'm brave enough. Marcus pulled out his phone, showed her a video. Someone had filmed Emma's announcement, the whole thing. Emma standing on her seat. Daniel's voice over the intercom, the cabin applauding. Watch this, Marcus said. She watched, saw herself walking to the cockpit, saw the joy on passengers' faces, saw Marcus crying with happiness, heard Daniel's voice. Passenger in 3C is, she's not wrong. She started crying. He was brave, Marcus said. He put his heart out there, in front of an entire airplane. Now it's your turn. What if he doesn't want to talk to me? Then you make him listen, but I don't think that's the problem. I think he's waiting for you to decide you're worth fighting for. She looked at her phone, at Daniel's last message. I love you, and I'm not giving up on us, she typed back. I love you too, I'm so sorry. Can we talk? Hit send. 3 dots appeared, then, yes, when? Now? Tomorrow, whenever you want. I'm flying to Tokyo tomorrow, flight 19, I requested you. She stared at the message. You requested me? I request you every flight, that hasn't changed. Even when you're scared, even when you run. I still choose you. She was crying again. I'll be there. Good. See you tomorrow. She looked at Marcus. He requested me. Of course he did. That man is completely gone for you. I messed everything up. So fix it. Show up tomorrow, tell him you're sorry, tell him you love him, and this time don't run. The next morning, flight 19, Tokyo bound. Daniel arrived at the briefing room early, nervous, hoping she'd actually show up. The door opened. Yuki walked in. Their eyes met. She looked exhausted, beautiful, terrified, hopeful. Hi, she said. Hi, can we talk? Before the flight? Yes, please. They walked to an empty gate, sat down, windows overlooking the tarmac. I'm sorry, she said, for running, for requesting the route change, for hurting you. Why did you run? Because I was scared. Someone made a comment about us being unprofessional, about people talking, and after everything happened so fast, Emma's announcement, the kiss, you saying you loved me, it was perfect. Too perfect, and I was terrified of losing it. So you pushed me away. I know, it doesn't make sense, but I thought, if I put distance between us, maybe I could figure out my feelings without risking everything. And did you? Figure out your feelings? Yes, I'm completely in love with you. I have been since flight 7, maybe before. And being away from you for 3 days was the worst 3 days of my life. He smiled, small, sad. Mine too. I'm so sorry. I know, but Yuki, you can't run every time you're scared. If we're going to do this, we have to be brave together. I know. And I want to be. I want to try, for real this time. He took her hand. I meant what I said. I'm not giving up on us, but I need to know you're in this, really in this. I am, I promise, no more running. Even when people talk? Let them talk. I'd rather have you and deal with opinions than lose you and have nothing. He leaned in, kissed her, soft, forgiving, starting over. I love you, he said. I love you too. Behind them, someone cleared their throat. They turned. Emma Rodriguez, pink roller bag, Hello Kitty notebook. Are you two done being dramatic? She asked. Daniel laughed. How are you here? This isn't your flight. I changed my ticket. I heard you two broke up. I came to fix it, but you already fixed it. So now I'm going to Tokyo. You're 7, Yuki said. I'm very resourceful. She opened her notebook, made a note. Flight 19. Reunion successful. Adults learned basic communication skills. Progress noted. Marcus appeared from around the corner. Emma called me, told me to bring tissues. Was she right? Yuki was crying again. Happy tears. She's always right. I have data, Emma said simply. The flight boarded. Passengers settling in. Emma in 3C like always. Service began. Yuki moved through the cabin, back to herself, confident, warm, noticing what people needed. Mid-flight, Daniel appeared in the galley, holding 2 cups. Oat milk latte, he said. Extra shot, no foam. You didn't have to. I know. I wanted to. She took the cup. Their fingers touched. Thank you for not giving up on me, she said quietly. Thank you for coming back. They stood there, in the galley, both holding coffee, both smiling. From 3C, Emma was writing in her notebook. Coffee ritual restored. Idiots are learning, satisfied with progress. The flight continued. Smooth, easy, right. After landing in Tokyo, after deplaning, after the crew dispersed. Daniel found Yuki by the gate. So, he said, we're really doing this. Really doing this. People are going to talk. Let them. Your reputation? My reputation is that I'm excellent at my job and in love with an amazing pilot. I can live with that. He smiled, pulled her close, kissed her. In the middle of the terminal, passengers walking by, crew watching, not hiding anymore. From behind them, Emma's voice. Get a room. They pulled apart, laughing. That kid has no filter, Daniel said. That kid saved us, Yuki corrected. Marcus appeared. So, we're good? No more running, no more drama? No more running, Yuki promised. Good. Because I can't handle another 3 days of you moping on the couch. I wasn't moping. You were eating ice cream in your pajamas and watching rom-coms. That's the definition of moping. Daniel laughed. Is that what you did? Shut up. That's adorable. I said shut up. He kissed her forehead. I love you, even when you mope. I love you too, even when you request me 17 times before telling me why. 18 times now. 18. And I'm going to request you for every flight, for the rest of my career, if that's okay. More than okay. They walked through the terminal together, hand in hand, Emma walking ahead, Marcus behind them, Rodriguez and the rest of the crew following, everyone watching, everyone knowing. And for the first time, neither of them cared. That night, hotel in Tokyo. The crew went to dinner together. Everyone was celebrating. The reunion, the relationship, the end of months of painful watching. Rodriguez raised his glass. To Danny and Yuki, may you stop being idiots and just be happy. To not being idiots, Daniel said. They all drank. Emma, drinking apple juice, raised her glass. To my excellent research skills, without which none of this would have happened. To Emma, everyone said. She was very satisfied. Later, Daniel walked Yuki to her room. Thank you, she said, for requesting me even after I ran. I told you I choose you every flight, every time. I choose you too. He kissed her, sweet, slow. No more fear, no more running. See you tomorrow? He asked, and every tomorrow. He left. She went into her room, fell onto the bed, checked her phone, message from scheduling. Captain Rivera has requested you for flights 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Please confirm. 5 flights. 5 more chances to get it right, she typed back. Confirmed. All of them. Another message came through from Daniel. I may have over-requested. Is 5 flights too many? She smiled. Never too many. Good, because I have a plan. What kind of plan? You'll see. Flight 22, be ready. Ready for what? For me to show you how serious I am about us, about forever. Her heart skipped. Forever? Forever, if you'll have me. She stared at the message. Forever. He was talking about forever. I'll have you, she typed, for as many flights as we get. Then get some sleep. We have a lot of flights ahead of us. She fell asleep smiling. Flight 19 was over. Flight 20 was tomorrow. And somewhere around Flight 22, Daniel had a plan. She couldn't wait to see it. 8 months later. Yuki woke up to sunlight streaming through the bedroom window and Daniel's arm around her waist, their apartment, their life, together. She turned over. He was already awake, smiling at her. Morning, he said. Morning. What time is our flight? Not for 3 hours, we have time. For coffee? For coffee. They moved through their morning routine. Easy, comfortable. 8 months of practice. He made her oat milk latte, extra shot, no foam. She made his Americano, 2 shots, no sugar. They sat at their small kitchen table, looking at the flight schedule. Flight 47, she said. 7. Can you believe it's been 47 flights? 47 times of requesting you and I'm not stopping. You better not. He kissed her. Sweet, casual, the kind of kiss that came from being sure. They drove to the airport together. His car, their routine, their life. In the crew briefing room, Marcus was already there. The lovebirds arrive, he said, together, again, like every single day for 8 months. Jealous? Yuki asked. Of your happiness? Always. Of your specific relationship? No. I like sleeping alone, Daniel laughed. You're coming to dinner tonight, right? Our place? Wouldn't miss it. Someone needs to document your domestic bliss. You really need to stop documenting us. Never. This is my legacy. The briefing went smoothly. Same crew as usual. Everyone comfortable, everyone happy. Vanessa was on the flight. She and Yuki had become friends over the past months. Real friends. Big day today? Vanessa asked quietly. Yuki looked at her. What do you mean? Daniel's been nervous all week, keeps checking his pocket, and he requested an empty plane for after this flight, for maintenance inspection. Yuki's heart skipped. An empty plane? I'm just saying, if I were you, I'd wear the good shoes. The flight took off. Tokyo to San Francisco, 12 hours over the Pacific. Service began. Yuki moved through the cabin, professional, warm. 8 months of being confident in her job and her relationship. Emma was in 3C, like always, now 8 years old, still taking notes. Flight 47, Emma said. You know what that means? What does it mean? Pattern completion. Initial hypothesis confirmed. Adults finally functional. Thank you, I think. You're welcome. Also, Captain Rivera seems nervous. Is he okay? He's fine. He's checked his jacket pocket 4 times, I counted. Emma, I'm just observing. It's what I do. Mid-flight, Daniel appeared in the galley, holding coffee. For you, he said. She took it. Their fingers touched. Still sent electricity through her after 47 flights. Thank you. You look beautiful today. I'm in uniform, same as every day. Still beautiful. Marcus appeared. You two are disgusting. I love it. The flight continued. Smooth. Easy. Right. Landing in San Francisco. Evening. The cabin emptied. Yuki stood by the door, thanking passengers. Professional smile. Emma was one of the last to leave. She handed Yuki a piece of paper. You'll want to read this later, she said. Then she walked off. Yuki unfolded it, a page from Emma's notebook. Flight 47, proposal imminent, probability 99.7%, recommendation say yes. She looked up. Emma was in the jetway, waving. Daniel appeared from the cockpit. Can you meet me somewhere? In about an hour. Where? Gate 42, it'll be empty just Just meet me there? Okay. He kissed her. Quick, nervous, then left. Marcus appeared immediately. What's happening? I don't know. He asked me to meet him at Gate 42. Gate 42 is usually empty in the evenings, and Vanessa said he requested an empty plane. For maintenance. Girl, that man doesn't do maintenance. He's a pilot, not a mechanic. So he's proposing. Obviously, her heart stopped. You think? I know. Look at this. He showed her his phone, a text from Rodriguez. Danny's been carrying a ring for 2 weeks. Tonight's the night. Be ready. She couldn't breathe. He has a ring? He has a ring and a plan. And you're about to get proposed to. I need to fix my hair. You need to fix your breathing. You're hyperventilating. I'm fine. You're the opposite of fine. You're about to get engaged to the love of your life. She sat down, tried to process. Daniel, proposal tonight. What do I do? She asked. You go to Gate 42. You let him say whatever beautiful thing he's planned, and you say, yes. 50 minutes later, Yuki walked to Gate 42. The gate was dark, empty. No passengers, no crew, just a plane. Parked at the jetway, doors open. She walked down the jetway into the plane. The cabin was filled with paper airplanes, hundreds of them, hanging from the overhead bins taped to seats, suspended in the air. Each one had writing on it. She picked one up. Flight 3. You sat with a scared child and made flying magical. I knew then. Another. Flight 7. I walked into a door because you smiled. Most embarrassing, most worth it. Another. Flight 14. Started bringing you coffee. Best decision of my life. Another. Flight 17. Emma announced it to everyone. Second most embarrassing, also worth it. She walked forward, reading paper airplanes, her eyes filling with tears. Daniel's voice came over the intercom. Yuki, come to the cockpit. She walked to the front, opened the cockpit door. He was there, standing in the small space. Sunset through the windows, painting everything gold. 2 coffee cups on the console. Emma's Hello Kitty notebook open to a page labeled Proposal. And Daniel, looking at her like she was everything. Hi, he said. Hi, you made paper airplanes. 470, one for every day we've been together. Emma helped. Emma knows? Everyone knows I'm terrible at secrets. Marcus cried when I asked his permission. You asked Marcus? He's your brother, of course I asked. She was crying now. Happy tears. Daniel took her hands. I fell in love with you somewhere over the Pacific. I don't know which flight exactly. Maybe all of them. Maybe before the first one. Maybe the moment you handed me that first cup of coffee and I turned red and made a fool of myself. You didn't make a fool of yourself. I absolutely did. I've made a fool of myself 47 times, and I want to keep making a fool of myself for the rest of my life. He knelt down, awkward in the small cockpit space, pulled out a ring. 18 flights, he said. That's how long it took me to work up the courage to tell you I loved you. I'm not waiting any longer for this. She was sobbing now. Yuki Tanaka, you make every flight better, every day better, every moment better. You see people. You make them feel like they matter. You made me feel like I matter. Not Captain Rivera, not the guy who flies planes, just Daniel, the guy who brings you coffee and walks into doors. Daniela, I know I request you for every flight. That's never going to change. But I want to request you for everything. Every morning, every night, every moment in between, he murmured softly to himself. Don't mess this up. You've practiced. You know the words. Just say them. Say, are you coaching yourself right now? She asked through tears. And yes, is it working? It's perfect. Yuki, will you marry me? Will you let me request you for the rest of our lives? Yes, God, yes. He stood up, put the ring on her finger. kissed her, in the empty cockpit, sunset through the windows, surrounded by paper airplanes and memories. "I love you," he said. "I love you too, so much." Behind them, someone started clapping. They turned. The entire crew was in the cabin. Marcus, Rodriguez, Vanessa, other flight attendants, gate agents, and Emma. Sitting in 3C, notebook open, writing. Marcus was crying. Again. "I knew it. I knew today was the day." Rodriguez was grinning. "Took you long enough, man." Emma held up her notebook. Proposal successful. Ring visible. Crying excessive but appropriate. Case study complete. Everyone laughed. Yuki and Daniel walked back into the cabin, still holding hands, still crying. Emma approached them, very serious. "Can I see the ring?" Yuki showed her. Emma examined it, nodded. "Acceptable. Good taste, Captain." "Thank you, Emma. You're welcome. Also, I've been documenting you for 47 flights. You better invite me to the wedding." "Front row," Daniel promised. "Good, I have a speech prepared." Marcus hugged Yuki, whispered in her ear, "I'm so happy for you. You deserve this, all of it. Thank you for everything, for pushing me, for not letting me run. That's what big brothers are for." They celebrated at the gate. Champagne someone had smuggled in, toasts, laughter, tears. Vanessa hugged Yuki. "I'm so happy for you. What you two have is special. I'm sorry I didn't see it before. Thank you for everything, for apologizing, for being a friend. Always." That night, at their apartment, just the two of them. They sat on the couch, looking at the ring. "I can't believe you made 470 paper airplanes," she said. "Emma made 100, she insisted, said it was for historical accuracy." "That sounds like her." "Marcus made 50. He also insisted, and cried while making them." She laughed. "When's the wedding?" "Whenever you want. Tomorrow, next year. I just want to marry you. Soon, but not tomorrow. I want to plan something with everyone who helped us get here. The airline hangar? How did you owe?" "I may have already asked permission to use it." "You planned ahead." "I've been planning this for months. Since Flight 19. Since you came back. I knew then I wanted forever." She kissed him. Forever sounds perfect. 6 months later, the airline's private hangar transformed into a wedding venue. Paper airplanes hung from the ceiling, hundreds of them, each one with a memory, a moment, a flight. The decorations were aviation-themed, miniature planes, runway lights, signs that said, "Final destination forever." The crew was there, everyone. Marcus as man of honor, Rodriguez as best man, Vanessa and the other flight attendants as bridesmaids, Emma as flower girl, wearing a Hello Kitty dress, carrying her notebook. The ceremony was small, intimate, perfect. Yuki walked down the aisle between rows of crew members, people who'd watched them fall in love over 47 flights. Daniel stood at the front, crying already. Rodriguez handed him a tissue. The vows were simple, personal, full of inside jokes. "I promised to bring you coffee every morning," Daniel said. "Oat milk latte, extra shot, no foam." "I promise to keep bringing you coffee too," Yuki said. "And to always tell you when you're walking into doors." Everyone laughed. "I promise to keep requesting you," Daniel said. "For every flight, every day, every moment. I promise to always say yes." They kissed. Everyone cheered. The reception was at the hangar, dancing, food, speeches. Marcus went first, crying before he even started talking. "I watched my sister serve this man coffee 14 times before either of them admitted they had feelings. 14 times. It was torture. Beautiful, but torture. I'm so happy you both finally figured it out. Welcome to the family, Daniel. Please keep making my sister this happy." Rodriguez went next. "I've been Danny's co-pilot for 5 years. I've never seen him smile the way he smiles when he talks about Yuki." You found someone who sees you, man. Hold on to her. Also, you owe me $200 from the betting pool. Everyone laughed. Then Emma stood up. 8 years old, holding her notebook. I started documenting Captain Rivera and Miss Yuki on Flight 1. I was 7, I'm now 8. It took 47 flights, 1 airplane announcement, multiple interventions, and a lot of patience. But I always knew they'd figure it out. She opened her notebook. I have data. Flight 1, eye contact 14 seconds, both nervous. Flight 7, door incident, chemistry confirmed. Flight 17, my announcement, necessary intervention. Flight 47, proposal, excellent execution. She closed the notebook. Adults are slow, but when they get there, it's worth it. Also, you better name your first kid after me. Everyone applauded. Emma sat down, very satisfied. The first dance was to the boarding music, their inside joke. They swayed together, in the hangar, surrounded by people who'd helped them. Can you believe we're married? She whispered. I can. I've been imagining this since Flight 3. Flight 3, that early? That early. You sat with that scared child, made flying magical for them, and I thought, I want to know someone like that. Forever. You're going to make me cry. You're already crying. Happy tears. The best kind. Later, much later, after most guests had left, they were in the cockpit of the plane that was permanently stationed in the hangar. Their spot, sitting together, looking at the sunset through the windows. So, he said, Mrs. Rivera. So, Mr. Rivera, how does it feel? Perfect. Right. Like coming home. You are home. For me. You always have been. She leaned on his shoulder. He wrapped his arm around her. 2 coffee cups on the console. Even here, even now. What do we do now? She asked. We keep flying. Together. For how long? Forever. Or until we retire. Whichever comes first. And then? Then we open that coffee shop we've been talking about. Serve oat milk lattes and Americanos. Tell people our story. About the pilot and the flight attendant? About the man who requested the same flight attendant 47 times before he worked up the courage to say hello. She laughed. It was 18 flights before you said hello properly. 18, 47, 100. Doesn't matter. I was always going to love you from the first flight, from the first coffee, from the first moment you smiled at me and I forgot how to speak. You still forget how to speak sometimes. Only around you. She turned, looked at him, her husband, her partner, her person. Thank you, she said, for requesting me, for not giving up, for being brave enough to tell a 7-year-old kid that she was right. Thank you for coming back, for not running forever, for choosing this. They kissed, in the cockpit, in their spot, where it all began. Behind them, someone coughed. Emma, standing in the cockpit doorway. Are you two done being romantic? People want to do cake. Daniel laughed. How did you get in here? I'm resourceful. Also, Marcus gave me a key. Of course he did. Emma held up her notebook, open to the last page. Final entry, she read. Flight 1 through infinity. Captain Daniel Rivera and Yuki Rivera. Love story complete. Adults finally figured it out. Recommendation, continue being happy. Data collection concluded. She closed the notebook, handed it to them. This is yours now, she said, for your kids, so they know how their parents met. Then she walked away, back to the reception, to find cake. Yuki and Daniel sat in the cockpit, holding Emma's notebook, their entire story documented by an 8-year-old who'd seen what they couldn't. We're keeping this forever, Yuki said, forever. They walked back to the reception, hand in hand, married, happy, home. The party continued late into the night. Dancing, laughter, joy. And when it was finally over, when everyone had left, when it was just them in the hangar, they stood under the paper airplanes. "Ready for the next flight?" he asked. "Always, as long as you're the pilot. And you're my crew. Forever." They walked out of the hangar, into their future, together. Behind them, a paper airplane fluttered down from the ceiling. On it, in Daniel's handwriting, Flight 1 of Forever, destination, home. Crew, Yuki Rivera. Status, perfect. What did you think of Daniel and Yuki's story? Let us know in the comments. Rate this story from 0 to 10. What score would you give it? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to catch all our stories. And check out more emotional stories by clicking right here on the end screen.